So welcome to the Business Spotlight series, everybody. My name is Steve Kiyama, and I'm the owner of Action Coach Western Fairfax. Today, we're going to be talking with Leo Lantz about his business, his journey to business ownership, challenges, best practices, and share a peek into what it's really like to build and operate a business. If this is your first time on this channel, be sure to like and subscribe to get notifications when we drop new conversations like this one. So Leo, thank you, welcome, and thank you for being with us here today. So please give us a brief overview of your background and tell us a little bit about your business.
Thank you for letting me join you today, Steve. My name's Leo Lantz. I'm a native Richmonder, lived here my whole life. Went to school and college locally, University of Richmond. Actually had a computer science degree from U of R because that was the closest thing they had to engineering at the time. Went to work in that field for about 18 months and then realized I couldn't stand looking at a computer screen all day anymore. So I went back to what paid for school, and that was working on real estate and properties. So my father had multiple investment properties growing up, and he had three sons that had to fix everything on them for him. So we had to, if there was a trade that we didn't know, my dad would hire a tradesperson to do it, and we had to watch him because the next time we had to do it ourselves. So we got baptism by fire.
Mm-hmm.
From that point on, I've owned construction and remodeling company for over 30 years now. I started out with being partners with my brother, and about 16 years ago we went our separate ways. So I've been doing this independently since then, and we specialize in kitchen and bathroom design and remodeling.
And is there any specific target market that you serve best, a specific area, specific groups?
Well, we we call them avatars. Our three avatars are the empty nesters, so people who have finished paying for college and now got a big raise and now want to do something in their homes to improve and enjoy that big raise that they got. We have aging in place, so people who want to stay in their homes, so they need to make improvements to make it more conducive for them staying in their home longer. So it's ripping out tubs, putting in walk-in showers and benches, seats, or things of that nature.
Very good.
And we have the young professionals with families that want to come in and renovate the space. Everybody wants to open floor plans so they can entertain, as well as keep an eye on the kids. So we're taking out walls. A lot of these older homes just were never designed for that style of living. So those are our three primary targets for the clientele that we're looking for.
Fantastic, fantastic. Just thinking about that, what makes your business unique, and why do your customers choose you specifically?
Well, my level of expertise in our market is very extensive. I grew up in the Fan area of Richmond, so the homes there aged from the late 1800s on. So I have the house I grew up in was built in 1926. So I have extensive knowledge of older building methods and how to adapt the new products to those old buildings and make an old crooked wall look straight, things like that. So how to humor things. So not only that, but I've built new homes also. For a while there, I was building a new construction. So, and I just kind of focused and went back to just the kitchens and bathrooms because I'm not affected by these monsoon snowstorms as much. I might lose a day here or there. It's inside work. You're not as delayed by weather constraints, things like that, and temperatures. We can work year round. So
fantastic. Yeah.
I went in our design services we offer to the clients. We use a relatively new software that's out that we can go in and scan the existing space to import it into a file that already has the measurements for the room, so it saves us time on drawing the existing room out to produce a CAD design for the clients to review. Because most of our clients, they live in the space so long, they cannot imagine it any other way. And the only way for them to envision it is to give them a vision of what the new space will look like.
Wonderful. And if you're dealing a lot with the homes and the fan, you're not just dealing with sheetrock, you're dealing with real plaster and lath of some sort.
Oh yeah, hickory lath, plaster, plasterboard, all the different generations of how the industry has, you know, evolved over the years with the
Yeah.
material. So
Yeah, you're adapting some real new technology to real old technology.
yeah, but we do a lot of our market is houses that are, say, 20, 25 years old now. So that's really contemporary construction. However, the way the homes were designed, you didn't have the open concepts that people want now. So we're going in and some, removing walls. Sometimes we're putting in 18-inch LVLs to
Mm-hmm.
be able to open up the entire space. So
Mm-hmm.
you get pretty intense with some of the structural modifications that we do for some of our projects. So.
Yeah, it'd be nice for the house not to fall down.
Right. So I have I've done pretty much all the trades myself over the years. So other than HVAC or gas, things like that, but I'm very familiar with the plumbing, electrical, carpentry, uh, roofing, siding.
Yeah,
You
the
name
whole bit. Yeah.
it. Oh yeah, windows, doors. So
Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
Cool. What is one thing you wish more people knew about your business?
Well, we are actually a NARI, that's National Association of Remodeling Industry accredited remodeling company. We're the only
Mm-hmm.
one in Virginia. We were actually the second company in the country to gain that accreditation.
Ah, fantastic.
And that is about a 30-page application that goes through all your business processes,
Mm-hmm.
everything, look at your marketing, your bookkeeping, your
Mm-hmm.
continuing education, uh, your designations, your everything. And it takes about 3 months just to fill the thing out,
Yeah.
actually, because it's so intense. Uh, but that's something we wish people knew a bit more about.
Mm.
So
Yes.
you're dealing with a business that has procedures and practices and that are industry uh, standards in place. So
With
you're not dealing with Chuck in the truck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that actually was one of the things I was going to ask you. What is the marketing that you're using and what's the number one that really produces the best results for you?
Well, we have a lot of the tried and true elements where I have a showroom with a high traffic corner location. So we get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of drive-bys that way. We do the site signs, of course, at the job sites where in
Mm-hmm.
neighborhoods that will allow you to have a sign.
Yeah,
All our vehicles are wrapped. So
good.
so when we're there, people can see that we're working there.
Yeah,
Uh, but the whole yellow pages has gone by the
yeah,
wayside.
right.
So the Google is really the big monster in the room. So given my computer science degree, I'm big on having our website up to date
Good,
and not paying for paid ads, but the organic traffic is, I try to nurture as much of that as possible so I don't
good,
have to pay the big boys.
good,
So,
good,
and the big thing is you got to have enough Google reviews that they can't ignore you. Okay, so we focus on getting Google reviews, and
yep.
that will bring us more, say, new traffic because people just don't talk to their neighbors anymore like they used to. You might get some every now and then, but that whole word of mouth advertising just isn't what it used to be.
No, word of mouth really is not an effective thing at all. It's a nice to have, but you're right. It's really the whatever reviews you've got out there that's a big piece of this game.
Right. And some people will shop in the middle of the night. I'm not parking
Mm-hmm.
my truck in front of their house in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
So
right.
having that convenience and having as much information on that website is key.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people have already made a buying decision before they call because they've already gone through all our, uh, looked at our gallery for projects we've already completed.
Yeah.
They look at our community service projects we've done. They pretty much know us before they've even called us. So,
Fantastic. Fantastic. So let's switch gears a little bit. We spent some time talking about the business. Let's take a step back and talk about your journey into business. You talked a little bit about your family, but why did you choose to go into business for yourself and as opposed to working for somebody else?
well, I was always self-motivated
Mm,
with growing up. When I started work when I was 9, my brother and I, we had a lawn cutting business. And in
mm.
8th grade, we had 72 yards we were cutting.
Wow.
So we just had that drive and initiative. And like I said, I worked for a bank for about a year and a half. And the whole idea of my raise was determined the year before because of the budget
Yeah.
that they put in. That just didn't set too well with me. So I wanted it performance based, not
Uh-huh.
based on someone sitting around doing a budget. So uh,
Fantastic.
I tried it for a bit, and I was always been in charge and the responsible one. So it was hard for me to uh, always agree with the higher ups.
Given
So,
the amount of time that you've been doing it, it sounds like it must be working for you.
well, you got to love what you do.
Yeah, right.
I love creating beautiful things. And, when I was doing computers, I can ride down the road and point at a computer and tell my kids, look how pretty that is. Or if I did that, it's having that material
Yeah,
uh, uh, object that we created
yeah.
and people can enjoy that and starting that journey with the client
Mm.
from what they had to where they end up and they just are thrilled with the end product. So it's just having that appreciation for what I do really is a motivator for me.
I guess taking a step into the today world with AI can produce some fantastic visual art, but it sure as heck can't make a beautiful kitchen that somebody can really use and enjoy.
Well, part of it is just the human interaction with the
Hmm.
clients.
Hmm.
You'll never get that.
Nope.
AI, I've implemented it on our website, and the people can still figure out that they're talking to the AI and not me.
Yeah.
But they try to fake it, but it's not perfect yet. So I can't tell you how many people I've typed in, is this Leo Lantz? And maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But
It is when we
it's
call
good.
them.
It's good for information intake right now. It's at
Great,
that point. So,
great. Where do you see the business in the next 3 to 5 years or so?
well, um, we're at a certain level that's kind of a comfort level.
Hmm.
If we grow much further, uh, which could happen, but uh, the my growth has to be tempered with my quality of life.
Mm.
That's
Hmm.
going to be the hard part.
Hmm.
Is the more jobs we get, the key is having personnel in
Hmm.
place
Hmm.
who can manage it.
Hmm.
So your hires are so important.
Oh,
Um,
yes, yes.
because it's just to the point where I certainly can't do it all
No,
anymore.
no, no.
That's when having all the procedures and processes in place that you can manage it. Because the bookkeeping gets too big. The
Yes,
construction management software you have to use because I can't put my head on somebody else's body and say you
right,
do this. So
right,
you got to have systems in place to
right.
manage. growth. So
Yeah.
um, the last 3 years have just been all hands on deck. After COVID, everybody's remodeling. So during COVID,
Yeah. Right.
so I'm maybe looking to see things normalize a little bit more. So I'm working to still keep maybe increase my market share
Mm-hmm.
because not quite as many people are renovating as they were because the interest rates were so low, for one thing.
Mm.
Uh, our market is still strong because no one's given up their 3% mortgage, so they're
Mm-hmm.
staying where they are and just remodeling.
Yeah.
They're not moving to get a bigger mortgage. So
Makes sense to me.
that's one
Yeah.
advantage we have right now. So I still see it being a strong market for us in the next 3 to 5 years.
Fantastic. Kind of going with that team concept. How would you describe your leadership style, and has it changed?
Well, I lead by example. I
Mm-hmm.
always have.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, show the people what to do and what I expect. Um, I'm not much of just telling you what to do. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
show you how to do it, and if you don't do it, then we'll have an issue. But if I have to tell you the same thing multiple times, then we're going to have an issue.
Yeah, right.
But I'm telling you how I learned,
Mm-hmm.
and I teach all day long. It seems like, uh,
Good. Good.
but I also have to
Yes.
learn and teach. So
Yeah, well, you can learn as much teaching as you can doing
yeah,
in
so
some respects. Cool, cool. Um, let's talk a little bit. You made a comment about hiring the right people in a way. What's your take on what's your approach on hiring and retaining people?
well, I've tried the headhunters
Mm-hmm.
uh, that work to a certain extent, but
Mm-hmm.
I found that the people who have been my most successful hires have approached me. So having the website out there and all the information, people search, they do their homework, they want to work for a reputable company.
Mm-hmm.
I've found my best hires have actually approached me.
So it's they want to participate in your game as opposed to just only focusing on how many nickels they're getting in their paycheck.
Well, some of that, but it's also the company culture,
Mm-hmm.
uh, a good work environment,
Good.
being valued, because a lot
Yeah.
of those companies, it's all about the numbers,
Yeah.
and if that doesn't happen, then they get start butting heads or
Yeah.
just don't feel like they're part of the team.
Yeah.
So, so everybody has their different reasons for making a change.
Got it. Got it.
And the hardest thing is kind of getting to that level of where they're at and getting in their head.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to do the usual homework like on every hire. So, but dwelling down and getting to their doing like a disc profile, finding out what score, what they're uh, best at, what they struggle at, knowing that is a big part of the battle right there.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes. 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 Yeah. I'm
so
glad you bring up DISC because I think that's a fantastic tool.
you don't want to hire a estimator and they're bad at math.
Yeah, I'll say.
They may have people skills, but if they can't sit down and do the math, that's tough.
Yeah.
No one's going to win
And you
at
don't
that.
want to hire a salesperson that hasn't got pretty good people skills.
Right. They're not going to be a sales. Yeah. You don't want to hire the accountant to be your salesperson. So
Yeah.
uh, trying to get down to that level.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
do your
Perfect.
homework.
Yeah. And you find recruiting is a lot like marketing in a way, is you're looking for the right avatar. And you're right, a different avatar for a different role in the company. But
Mhm.
still, you're looking for a person that fits a culture and a value system that
Right.
that allows you to serve the customers the way you want to serve them.
Mhm. I have a lot of uh, several employees who've come from the restaurant industry because They used to work, 60, 65 hours a week, but they have the people skills.
Mm-hmm.
I can teach them anything about construction, but I can't teach them how to be nice to someone.
Yeah, the technical stuff's easy relative to the value, how you treat people.
Right. So depending upon the role, that's what I've done. You got to have, with
Great.
me being in people's homes, you have to have people with the interpersonal skills.
Oh, that's fantastic. Fantastic. I've heard one or two people say that, and that's just fantastic. It always works for them. That's great. So I'm just gonna, we've covered a lot of ground in the conversation so far. And for those who are watching, I highly encourage you to save this and come back because we've touched on a couple of really good nuggets here. So just as we begin to wrap up, I got a couple of real rapid fire questions. So just kind of off the top of your head, what would you say is the key to success for you so far?
Being honest,
Mm,
integrity.
mm-hmm.
Uh, Dad always said, son, always tell the truth because when you get old, you won't be able to remember what lie you told. So
I like that.
uh, being honest with people, keep treating them with respect.
Mm-hmm.
I try to educate my clients as to why we have to do things, not just
Mm-hmm.
do it because it's cheaper, but
Mm-hmm.
give them the pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
If we do this, it will this, and the merits or the downside. Just being honest with people is probably has been the most meritorious for us.
Fantastic. If you had to give one piece of advice to somebody who's getting ready to start up a business today, what would you tell
You got to do your homework,
them?
do the paperwork. Uh, like if you don't write that contract correctly and uh, you miss something, it will cost you dearly, especially when you're young. So
Mm-hmm.
do your paperwork, be
Mm-hmm.
comprehensive with your estimates. Don't just write an estimate on the back of a napkin and think you're going to do that job for that amount of money. So do your homework.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, do the you got to have a business plan.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Look at all the different aspects. How are you going to market? How are you
Mm-hmm.
going to produce? So you got to have a business plan. Don't just go in flying by the seat of your pants.
Fantastic. Is there one book you're reading now or have read recently that you would suggest for people?
I just read Remodel Your Digital Marketing by Dennis Oz.
Okay.
It goes into all the Google, Facebook advertising, the pixels, I mean, anything you want to know about how the internet advertising works, because that's probably where you're going to be spending your dollars.
Good.
So I would definitely look at that as far as being an asset to your business going forward.
Fantastic. If you had to choose one area of your business you could improve immediately, what would it be?
I would like to have a bit more technical expertise on staff in
Mm-hmm.
addition to just me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the old guy now, believe it or not. So I need a few more old guys
Mm,
right now with some seasoning to help these younger guys out here. So
fantastic. Fantastic. What's most inspiring to you today?
my clients' appreciation for what we do. That's why I get up and do what I do,
Mm-hmm.
because they come from different fields. I've had attorneys who come to me and they show me their hands. He say, Leo, you see these? These are useless. So when I can do everything that they can't, that that is very appreciative. And as I get older, I start working for some clientele that I never thought I would have their numbers in my phone. Like there's cardiologists in town or physicians that are on speed dial. And as you get
Very
older,
good.
you really need those things.
Yes. This
So
is
that's,
true too.
yeah. So I can call them up and when I need them and when they need something on their house, they got my number.
Fantastic. Fantastic. How can others learn about you or your company, and how can they get into contact with you?
Well, visit our website,
Mhm.
leolantz.com. That's LEOLANTZ.com. That has all the information with our location, photos of our showroom facilities. All the social media platforms are listed on there. You can visit our gallery. We have a community service page where I've done, we've done some videos of public service projects we've done
Mhm.
for families. And
Mhm.
I did an episode of Fix It and Finish It
Mhm.
for NBC with
Mhm.
Antonio Sabato back, I think it was 2016. That was pretty interesting. I couldn't go anywhere for about 6 months without going to eat and say, "Hey, I know you." So, but yeah, so a lot of information there. I would say visit there first.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Leo, this has been fantastic. Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your insights. I really appreciate it. This has
Thank you,
been a
Steve.
really
I
good,
enjoyed it. All right.
it's been fun.